Hello everyone.
Welcome to...
This is Crystalline Readthrough. This is going to be ideally the final script.
I am just going to cough quite a lot.
Yeah, that's fine. Are you ill? Are you fine? Through with Molly Simpson, Jake, Reggie, Offord, and Theo Sonny.
Why was that so broken up?
I don't know.
Jake, Reggie, Offord.
Right. Scene 1. Interior bar night. Nestled in Western Soho, which used to be Soho because I like writing. We open to a quiet jazz bar, dimly lit but vibrant with blue and green luminescent lighting, and humming the tune of Mr. Sandman or a similar song. We snake into the bar as the film title appears with a 4x3 screen. Just out of shot, some elderly people sitting with cocktails, some middle-aged couples slow dancing in a corner, but a distinct lack of anyone born with a 2 at the start of their millennium. Except there is one. The camera has been crawling towards her at the bar. Eve Omen. We cling close to the floor as another pair of legs walk into the frame. We see Eve at eye level now, holding herself confidently and nursing a shot glass with a peach liqueur mixed in. It makes no difference with the bar stools, but she's average in height, wearing a long dress with thick black hair. The man we saw walking approaches the bar and sits next to Eve. He confidently taps his hand on the bar top and speaks to the bartender.
Hello, Michael. I'll take your Australian red tonight, please.
Jacob Buscade, a tall and trimmed man, void of any conspicuous detail to judge or look deeper. He puts his long coat on the chair and turns to Eve.
Hello.
She smiles after examining him as he sits, and he smiles and greets her back.
Jacob Buscade.
Buscade.
Buscade, okay.
Omen.
Oh, sorry, the script got flipped upside down.
Don't think I've seen you here before. Don't think we have we, Michael?
No response from the bartender. We never even see him on screen, but Jacob's eyes trail off as Michael, quote-unquote, walks away from before he turns back to Eve.
Not very talkative tonight.
No, I actually moved to the city recently from New York.
Ah, got used to the different layout? Or the abundance of Tesco's and Pret's?
Just about. You always lived here?
Yeah, up by Angel.
Oh, interesting.
Is it now?
Yeah, that's where I've moved.
Interesting.
1.5. Cut to the close of Jacob smiling in the bar to him walking down a pavement in London. Ominous music starts to bustle above the city noise. Before the sub-scene starts to play, we hear Jacob's voiceover.
The truth is, Eve...
Zoomed close of Eve walking on the other side. There's a clear split of the two on the screen. They're no longer in the same frame or in the same side of the screen, clashing.
Sometimes you can't really... Oh, fuck.
It's all right.
Sometimes you can't rely on coincidence to make great things happen.
He peers up across the road and takes his film camera from around his neck to his eyes and takes a photo. Cut to Eve walking through her flat door into the kitchen. Out of the window, a nice scenic shot of the flat before it pans out to show Jacob peering in.
So when you were the sole person in a neighbouring flat who wasn't senile or somehow encouraged to comment on my sleep schedule, I took an interest.
Cut closer to in front of Jacob, smiling half-heartedly. Back to the present day. A matte shot of him smiling, but indulging in her warmth rather than his habit. The bar environment comes into play before... The bar environment comes into play before we're back there fully.
So,
He takes a swig of his drink.
if you're so new to this city, have you found a regular place yet? Or are you surviving off curly whirlies?
Not really. My habits are still mostly corporate.
We can fix that.
That's voiceover. Yeah. Great. They smile at each other and we hear the bartender finalise a payment with another customer and the bustle of the bar continues.
I could show you around. This place is great, but you might need something different for the morning. Unless you're into mimosas at 8 a.m.
No, that would be nice.
The title card plays!
Woo!
Scene 2. Days of... Oh, I got it up here. I'll wait until...
There's my soundtrack.
That is actually the new soundtrack. Good
Yeah,
job.
you're welcome.
The two are walking down the outer streets of Soho, a short alley away from the heavy bustle on a street half-lined with metal gates, quaint cherry trees, and cars parking distinctively over the yellow line.
Things could really go somewhere with this, you know?
The two are walking down the street, coffees in hands and close in frame. A warm and bright day. We're not filming today, but this is London. Cut a slow-mo close of Eve, smiling and laughing, looking away. A close of Jacob, smiling, shaking his head charmingly.
You're sweet. You're compassionate. You're mysterious and allude to the ominous reason you left your last home. What else could a man want?
A few matte shots of the two walking in the subframe. What? Oh, in the same frame around different locations in the city. More sub-roads, past some shops and by the Thames before they land back at Soho in a very green street.
No, really, I am not photogenic.
Jacob is holding his vintage camera up to Eve and tells her to pose. In this age, that film camera is worth more than expensive hobby. Is a more expensive hobby than a newborn child.
For me, at least, that's enough.
Then Jacob in scene.
What? Come on. It's film. It gets rid of all the bad stuff.
Bad stuff? I'm insulted.
Jacob scolds her through an expression as she obliges to get her photo taken and poses with a quaint smile. A few hours later, the sun is even lower in the sky, not that you can see it past the blocks of concrete. Instead of coffee in their hands, they've treated themselves to some ice cream, Jacob with a weird pistachio one and Eve with something caramel, or whatever you guys like. A moment of London noises pass as they eat their ice creams. A couple having a detached conversation saunters past before Eve and Jacob continue theirs.
Why London, then?
Oh, business.
Bullshit. And what business is that exactly?
Stocks, spreadsheets, the usual.
Right.
They have their ice creams for a moment, keeping a wide shot before we cut in for Eve to say,
I moved to New York a few years back. Thought even though it's chaos, it would be a break. And it was for a bit. But life caught up and I had to come here.
The sentiment resonates with Jacob and they wallow in the moment, connected by something they don't know yet.
I moved out of London for a year. Did not like it. Not making that mistake again.
Where to?
Somewhere in Wales. Shropshire? Not the best decision in hindsight.
Doesn't sound the most appealing.
No, but New York never really appealed to me either.
Shropshire's this really silly place in Wales that my brother and I found like a meme page on Instagram for, and they're just really annoyed about bless you. They're really annoyed about the the number 3 bus being cancelled and the bin in the park being taken away.
Okay.
It's the most expensive thing in the town. This is 3, so this is the only bit of 3 that we're still in London for, and then we'll cut to the second bar.
Okay.
So the two have spent almost half the day together now, still laughing, but both a lot more mellow and worn out. Eve hands... Oh, I don't know, that cuts out. And then Eve says...
Thank you. I still haven't met a lot of people around here, so this was nice.
Well, anytime. I'll get these photos to you at some point.
Medium close of Eve, camera higher up.
Have a nice night, Jacob.
You too, Eve.
Wide from across the street. Both in the middle of the frame, Jacob turns and starts to walk slowly. Eve turns and power walks in the other direction. Jacob stays, almost out of frame, and then turns around. Medium over the shoulder behind Jacob. He pulls a cap from his pocket and lowers his face with it on. He starts towards Eve's direction as she turns a corner. Turns a corner in the distance and we stalk behind me. What the fuck is he doing? The audience would say in unison if we didn't already know his little habit and if he wasn't so eager to justify himself.
Look, it's a dangerous city after all. I should make sure you get home safe.
Medium close in front of Eve, Jacob lurking in the dark behind.
It's not like we were really going different ways back anyway.
By the way, the only word that's meant to be italic there is really. Right, I do it, just doesn't have
So
fun.
it's like a...
We weren't really.
It's not like we were really going different ways back anyway.
Yeah. A few crossroad match cuts later, Jacob's skipping to keep up. A circle seems to be made, probably only apparent to them, back to the bar they met the night before.
Oh, back here. You want a drink after a long, great day? That's reasonable.
Eve finishes walking to the door and greets a man with a hug. Cut close to Eve across the road. We get a glimpse to their conversation.
Hi, Theo. Good to see you.
But who the fuck is this?
You're real angry.
Angry.
You're like, who the fuck is
But
this?
who the fuck is this? That isn't exactly a just friends greeting, Eve.
Love it. Right, back to what we're filming today. Eve and Theo walk confidently into the bar. The same bar where Jacob met the inconsistent Eve, so it only makes sense that behind their stride he lurked in the shadows.
Going the wrong way. Not met a lot of people here, my arse. I can do that better, wait.
Like you're almost mocking her.
Not met a lot of people here, my arse.
Even Theo oh, sorry, I forgot that was my line on the stage direction. Even Theo walk up to the bar, take their seats in the same place, and order something light to start the night.
You're sitting in our exact seats? This is why romance is dead, Eve. You and this hay bale of a man.
Love that. We cut between Jacob's look of betrayal from around the corner to in front of the new couple. Hours pass as they start drinking heavier. We hear faint shots from Eve in the muffled background, match cut from behind the bar, cropping in at each interval. All while their drinking ensues, we get a bombardment of Jacob's rather prickly feelings about the situation.
It's a big ocean, a big city with plenty of fish in the sea, sure. It doesn't exactly mean you need a bloody... How the
Charcuterie.
Charcuterie, okay. It doesn't exactly mean you need a bloody charcuterie board of scampi.
Okay, calm down. Eventually, hours have passed and Jacob is still somehow loitering in the back of the dingy bar. But even Theo are finishing up. Theo practically falls off his stool. But I'll beat Theo, even though he's one line. But Eve props him up.
Well there, someone's had enough for the night. Should we finish up? Knock you out for the night?
Oh, I didn't realise I'd said for the night twice, sorry. Theo barely slobbers ashore out of his drunken fugue.
Oh, we're leaving? It's not as
No,
much
you're a
noise
bit
as-
flustered now. Sorry, I need to add more stage directions, but you're a bit flustered, like... Bless you. Bless you. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Bless you. You didn't realise they were leaving. You're still behind them, so you need to scamper out of there.
Oh, we're leaving. It's not as much noise as I would have loved.
This was sort of the one flaw to Jacob's hiding plan: people and movement. Eve mantles Theo to her shoulder and lugs him down the hallway as Jacob scurries in front of them. The exit in one way and the toilets in another. Jacob makes the wise decision and heads into a hide in the cubicle.
Not ideal. I can make do.
Same shot of the hallway. This is like a Scooby-Doo type shit. We hear Eve and Theo shuffle into the hall before we see them appear, still sluggishly. She's muttering to him, practically nursing his downfall, like prey.
Yeah, we'll get you an Uber, but in case you retch...
Vomit. If you feel like doing something, listen.
In case you're sick everywhere, we'll get you here for now.
Yeah, that's good.
You useless shit sack.
She heads through the door. She heads to the same door Jacob's occupied in. Well, shit. We cut to Jacob hiding in the bathroom stalls as he starts to hear Eve mutter and Theo's drunken splurges of verbs and connectives in no sensible order. Some of Eve's words creep through the whispers.
Shame. Nasty. Die.
What are you talking about? Thud. What was that noise? It made What?
Chunk up.
It made Jacob jump as he tried to peer through the door's crack at least. We hear some Oh my god, sorry guys. We hear some fabric rustling before Eve's footsteps heading out the door. The door shuts and once it's empty, Jacob nudges the door open. It's an on-the-floor shot, looking up at Jacob with Thea's dead body in the corner of the frame. Linger on the shot for a moment before cutting outside, Eve walking to a manager server.
Hi. Sorry, my date had too much to drink and he's a bit... How do I say that?
Inebriated.
What does that mean?
It means like passed out, drunk, high.
Inebriated.
It's just like under the influence
Yeah,
of
yeah,
something.
totally.
Okay.
Back to the bathroom. Seems we've already found the culprit of the thud. Jacob looks around the body. It looks like he's hit his head in the sink and got knocked out. But his pocket and hands line on his nose, a recognisable white powder. Jacob picks it up to inspect it.
Well, I didn't hear any sniffing.
I didn't know whether to do that or this next line.
I kind of like the other one a bit more.
Do you? Okay,
Yeah.
what do you think, Molly?
What?
There's two lines here. It's either he says, I didn't hear any sniffing, or better than you two fucking, I suppose.
Better than you two fucking us.
Yeah?
That's what I
Okay,
was
cool.
thinking. Better than you two fucking, I suppose.
He cautiously pockets the substance and takes out his camera from his coat. Snap! On film now, he heads over the camera and cut to black. I'll just summarise this. We're in a dark room. You're developing photos, blah, 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 blah. After a moment, a buzz starts from Jacob's pocket, and he jolts the phone to the side, shakes his hands dry, and steps outside.
Hi.
Hey, I was hoping I could come round if you're free.
Cut to scene 4. We're out of his makeshift dark room and in the main room as Eve walks through the front door. Wow. Oh, that's...
Girl!
My bad.
Wow. I didn't realise how close we were.
Yeah, good coincidence. Convenience.
I sometimes forget that I'm not writing sarcastically to myself all the time in stage actions. B. She walks in and scouts the place somewhat familiarly.
Can I get you a drink?
Sure.
Jacob heads right into the kitchen and Eve strolls into the lounge.
I like it. Mine's not nearly as decked out yet.
Jacob pops his head out from the kitchen.
It's taken a while to make it this way, but you'll get there.
Some glasses clink and the tap runs from the kitchen. I've said kitchen 4 times. While Eve shuffles documents from the table. She finds the developed file of photos and starts sifting through them. Pan in a symmetrical frame shot of Eve. Continuous pull in... Why am I writing this? Her face twisting in discomfort. The eerie music draws in, and we cut to a close of the images in her hands. She flips from a nice image of them together to one of her walking alone before they met, and one of Theo, 2 of Theo.
Did you see the photos? I got most from our date developed.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
In a bathroom, we can see Eve at the end of the hallway and pan into the bathroom, lit brightly, but still a bit of red tint. The photo line has a few missing images, a few left over, most left from their date, and gasps and gaps. Maybe he grabbed the wrong photos. Eve places the photos of Theo back down the table and takes a ziploc of cocaine out of her pocket. She turns around quickly, and we pan to the side to reveal Jacob standing, holding a glass of water, shocked.
I did not mean to leave those out.
After pausing, he scampers to the table to place glasses and scrambles the documents into his hands, away from Eve. She holds up the Ziploc bag and inhales, preparing to say something but can't get anything out.
This isn't exactly how I was expecting this to go down. Do you want this back?
There's tension, no question. There's doubt, no question. There isn't a shadow of concern on either of them faces. Zoom in on Eve, slightly impressed.
I took it from that man. Well, that man's body.
Eve, solemnly, still threatening with the bag.
I could do the same to you.
Jacob throws the pouch at Eve and she catches it alongside the other one.
You could. Not ideal, but...
Shut it.
Rather than them on their nice date being locked in the same frame together, they stand opposite ends of the infrequent wide shot and mostly focus on tight, creepy pan-ins.
But you would have done something by now. You're not here to expose me. This doesn't even put you off.
She haphazardly grabs the photo of Theo's corpse.
Why would I be?
Why aren't you?
They stand in silence, distance. Big chunk here. Soz.
That's all right. Because I don't think one dodgy man's murder is the most you're concealing.
And that appeals to you?
Yes. No, it resonates with me.
Yeah, I don't think this pitch perfect persona is working on me.
I can't read you. Are you impressed with me?
More like, are you impressed with me?
Are you impressed with me?
Yeah, perfect.
I think you're a man who does bad things and hides away from them himself.
A lot of talk from a hit woman, but fair. Close. I did bad things. The hiding part is what I'm trying to get rid of now. I was hoping you could do it with me.
Close panel on Eve. She tilts her head and smiles. Close of Jacob, smiling back. 4.2. Back at the start, Jacob and Eve sit at the bar, smiling at each other innocently. There's 3 shots here and 3 lines, and there's 3 beats in this song.
Okay.
It'll be cut together nicely in VO, but I'm going to play the 3 beats and then you can say the lines and then we'll... Okay. So that was what's going to be playing.
Yeah, cool.
And then your lines.
I was tired of running alone. I needed someone to do it with.
The first 3 strums, a shot and a sentence each. Close to their drinks on the table, both nursing... Close to their glass on the table, both nursing their drink in a low depth of field.
Maybe you're the one that can be... Crystalline.
Crystalline.
Crystalline. Yeah,
Thank
cool.
you, guys.
No problem.
That's so sick.
That good.
Thoughts?
Yeah. I think the script is really
Anything you think could run smoother?
It will probably be a case of we will be in the scene and it will be what feels more natural.
Yeah,
if I need to
totally.
change
I
Dude,
anything.
change whatever the fucking words are. You got the story. I love you guys and I trust you. You can 100% take it how you want it.
The bit where Eve does the... Fuck me, hold on, I've got something in the bathroom here, I might, improvise a little bit there.
For sure.
But
The idea of
let me
really
know
gave
what
me
you
this one. That's like, the bit she gets most out of it is the bit before they die. She really digs it in. And it's like, that's the bit she likes
But
playing.
what's her attitude towards him? Like, she's like, stupid prick.
Yeah.
Like,
This
He's a
guy needs
stupid
to go
man.
in her mind.
But
And
why?
he deserves to.
Because it's
I think
man.
he's like a nonce or something. maybe he's, you know...
Male. Has a
maybe he's
penis.
done some assault or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright, I'll... That's cool. I'm excited.
Thank you, guys.
No problem.
Glad I chose you two.
Thank
Glad
you.
you two are free.